Hello, my name is Jeff. I will be the host of this here video for you. Typically, we review games for people who are 50 and up for the MetaQuest 2, 3, and 3S. But today we're going to do a little something different because it's right before Christmas. It's the beginning of December, and either you're going to buy a MetaQuest 2, 3, or 3S for yourself or for a loved one, or maybe you're going to get one for Christmas. And there's some things you need to know about accessories. There are like hundreds of thousands of different accessories available through Amazon, through individual dealers, through individual websites and makers. And some of the accessories are absolutely needed and necessary. Some of them are just, hey, they're fun to have and they help you a little bit. And then there are some that are fun to have, but they're kind of a waste of money. And then there are some that cost a lot of money, take up a lot of space in your house, and if you have money to blow, you might enjoy them. So let's start out talking about these accessories for your headset. So there's like many. One of the things I would suggest is not buying accessories from Quest, the MetaQuest page itself, from the MetaQuest makers themselves. Because most of their extra headsets and things are just cheaply made with an extremely large price, where you can buy better made quality products at the same or even less price. For instance, one thing you absolutely have to have when you buy a MetaQuest 2, 3, or 3S is a new headset. So let's scroll down here. A head strap, I should say. And there are many different head straps. Here's one type of head strap that has a battery built in. And there are many different companies that do this. So do your research to see which one works best for you and make sure it works for your headset. Because some don't work on the 3 or the 3S. Some don't work on the 2 because they're designed differently. So you got to make sure you get one that's designed for your headset, even if it's made by a non-Meta company. Now, here's another head strap some people like. The ones I prefer is the Bobo VR headsets. They tend to be a little stronger. Now, the MetaQuest, their head straps tend to break right on the sides between the headset and your ears. They have a bad tendency. I've been through several myself. My wife has been through a few. There have been recalls from MetaQuest for these type of facial interfaces, the little rubber piece that holds it up against your face, because like this here with the MetaQuest, not this version, but the MetaQuest version, they turned people's faces red. It was like an allergy or something that it caused. So do your research. I just recently, my wife bought me the MetaQuest 3, and I'm waiting for my birthday to open it up. And she also just bought me a new head strap for it, the Bobo version, which you could look up here on Amazon. There's several different. Some work on the 3, some work on the 3S, some work on the 2. And the one I bought comes with a rechargeable battery that pops on and pops off. Now, if you buy 2 batteries and a charging dock, then that pretty much gives you almost unlimited time to play, because you'll have the battery that's in the headset itself. Then you'll have the battery that's rechargeable that you pop on the back. That gives you an extra couple hours of play. And then you have the one sitting on the recharging unit. And when the one that's on your headset starts to die down, you take it off, you pop it back on the charger, you take the other one and pop that back on. It won't interfere with your gameplay. So you can be playing a game, take one off, boom, put it down, put a new one on, boom, and you continue to play. So that's the one I purchased. I'll give you a review on it probably in 2025 after I've used it for a couple of months to see how well it works. But yeah, head strap is definitely something you will have to invest in, because the one that comes with all MetaQuest headsets, it feels like you're putting a jock strap on your head that is like 10 sizes too small. So you don't want that. So head strap is definitely something you want to look into. And like I said, there are many different kinds, different brands, so on and so forth. Some of the other things are like these carrying cases. Many different companies make these carrying cases. Make sure you get one that actually fits yours, like the 3S or the 3, because sometimes there's more stuff than there is space. And this is only so if you're traveling and you're going to take it with you. My wife and I, during the pandemic, rented a house up on the North Shore, and we took our headsets with us, and we were up there, because it's a pandemic, you couldn't do anything or go anywhere. So we played up there looking out at the Lake Superior. Then there are charging stations. There are many different charging stations available. We bought ours back when the Quest first came out and they first started making them, and it was sold through the Meta store, even though it wasn't a Meta product. It was an Anker that charges the headset and both of the controllers at the same time. We've had a little problems on and off, but overall, for 4 years, it's been working pretty decent. There are many different brands. Battery packs. Now, here's one that connects to the side of your headset. I'm not so sure about this. I wouldn't buy it myself because, one, it's probably not a very strong battery. Plus, it's going to add weight to one side, so it may make you lean or strain your neck trying to keep yourself upright. They have batteries that connect to the back of the headset. They have some that you can put in. For a while, I was putting it in my pocket, my chest pocket, and just running a cord up and plugging it in. So there are many different things that you can do with that. Facial interfaces. There are many different companies that make these. The one you get with the Meta is okay, but there are some that are more cushion to it, so it doesn't hurt your face as much. There are some that are designed so that if you wear glasses, they're bigger and wider so that you can get your glasses in there. Now here's these things on the outside, this purple coloring. That is again something that's fun to have, but not necessary to actually play the game. So if you have money to spend, you can buy something like this where you get colored, and you can buy these from individual people who design these and make these themselves in their house. And you can put on, right now I have Evel Knievel stickers on mine, and my wife has Wonder Woman. So it's because we specially had them specially designed for them. Now here's another charging dock. This is for the 3 and 3S, which is nice because it charges both your controllers and the headset at the same time. Now with controller things like this, the chargers, it's going to take up some permanent space. So you want to make a space on a shelf, or we actually have a table in our living room where we play all our games that we have both of our chargers, and we have all the different accessories in a little box on the end of the table. Here's another one with a battery in the back. So if you have a battery in the back, it adds a little weight to the back, which takes some of the pressure off the front. So it's not pushing down so hard on your nose and cheeks. So that's a really good idea. Now here are some things that I own something similar to this, and they're cool to have, but they're not necessary. And the problem is you'll use them a few times and then get tired of them, putting them on and taking them off and putting them on and taking them off. And they just get set aside. So this is for like lightsaber games. There's also ones for ping pong tables, so that your controller goes into the ping pong handle, so it feels like you're holding a ping pong paddle. Gives you a little extra weight for when you're playing. Again, not necessary, but if you have the money and you want to waste some money, go right ahead and purchase. Here's one similar to the one I have. This is a different company. We have the Anker, and this is a Biohem. I've never heard of this company, but that's a really decent price. And again, it charges everything for you. I do have a pair of guns similar to this, gun stock for your game. These come in different sizes, different kinds, different styles. Some of them you can actually add like quarters to the front to give it a little more weight, so that when you're holding your gun out, it's going to give you some weight to it, and you're going to have to be strong-wristed. Some of them have different changes. Some of them have like an extra button on there so that when you press lightly on your trigger, you might get multiple shots out of it, or make it from a single shot up to a like a machine gun type of thing. Again, these are nice. They're cool. I do own a pair. And if you have a game that only uses pistols, and you can put the 2 pistols on and you just shoot the 2 pistols, it works great. Depending on which model you get, some of them will take some time to put them on. Some of them will pop on and off very quickly. But if you have a game that you may start with pistols, but you work your way up to machine guns and shotguns and different two-handed guns, then these are pretty much don't work. You really need these in single games. Like for instance, what's a good one? Drop Dead, the first one, Dual something, I think it was called. That one you use only pistols, so that works out great. Or the multi that usually use 2 hands. In that game, you only need 1 hand to shoot a shotgun and that type of thing. Here we got more headsets, different styles, extenders. There's like one for golfing. There's several actually for golfing. And you see how much work this takes to take these on and off every time? It's quite, time consuming. And this one here is made for Gorilla Tag, which is weird because these things are used for different games. Here you can put it together. And for Beat Saber, or if you're in this kayak game and you're kayaking. But again, how often are you going to kayak or play Beat Saber that you need that extra thing on there? So it's really up to you. Here we got covers, different colors, hand grips. Some people swear by these hand grips. They love them. Different brands, different kinds, different styles. And what this does is it puts like a piece of soft plastic around your controllers, and then it has this strap that goes around your wrist, and you put your hand through it, and that makes sure that you don't accidentally throw your controller. Well, my wife and I have both had these games for almost 4 years now, and not once, just using the strap, the string that comes with it wrapped around your wrist, we have never actually thrown our controllers anywhere. So again, it's not necessary, but it's maybe something you'd be interested in buying. If you have young children, anybody under like 15 playing who may not think about gripping and holding on to this thing, and maybe in some games you actually have to throw things like axes or knives, they might throw it. So that might be something for a young person. Here's something, stocks. There are a lot of games that use like shotguns and long guns, that type of thing. And people buy these so it gives them more comfort. So you have your 2 controllers that attach. I'm not sure how this one attaches. Some are with magnets. Some are like screwed in or, tied down pretty tight. And it gives you the feel of owning and holding a shotgun, which, if you're playing a game that only has this one style of gun, that might work out well. But sometimes in games you have to manually reload. And if this is one, I'm not sure about this particular game or this particular stock. Some of them you have to take like the front controller and move it. So you pick up your ammo, you load it in, you pull back on the trigger, and then you have to go back to that location. And it's magnetic, and it comes off, and it goes in. The problem is, when you're wearing the headset, you can't see the stock. So you have to guess where you have to connect this one in. And sometimes you have to do that in split seconds because you have bad guys trying to take you down. And then there are some like this. Well, I'm not sure about this, but that they're in place all the time. So you can't reload and you can't move your hands. So really do your research on this to see if this is the type of stock. There are like hundreds of different types of gun stocks out there. Another carrying case, more carrying cases. Here's a sale, $300 for the MetaQuest for the 3S. And I have another video telling you the difference between the 3 and the 3S. So this one's for the 3S, and you get Batman. Of course, you get Batman with the other headset also. Let's see what else we got down here. Let's go back to the top. And let's go with expensive accessories. Now let's go VR. So now I'm going to go into see if I can get expensive. Here we go. There are some things that are really far out and crazy. I'm not sure if they're going to have them here on Amazon. No, it looks like the same stuff. But there's like a chair. You can buy this chair that you sit in. It's like an old style barber chair. And you put your feet up. And you can control it either with your thumbstick and it turns. It automatically turns for you. I'm sitting on a chair that I'm manually using my feet to move, but it either turns using your thumbstick or in the direction you look. So if you look this way, the chair will turn that way. It's like $1,000 or better. So that is something, if you have lots of money and you want to blow your money on something that's not necessary but might be cool to have, those chairs might be really cool to have. But again, those are still new. It's still an idea that's it's only been out a few years. There's a couple of different companies that have a couple of different things. So you might want to check out those if you're willing to waste your money. The other problem with that also is that you have to have a space dedicated. So you have to have like a room dedicated that chair sits in the middle because it's not lightweight and it's pretty big and bulky. So it sits in the middle and you use the chair for every game. So if you're not using the chair, that means you're going to have to pick it up and move it over to a corner or find some place to put it. Here's another accessory. It's a golf club. And there's a couple of different golf clubs. This one here says AMVR. There's one also for, what is that game? Walkabout Mini Golf. That you add a stick. So it gives you the feel of a stick in your hand. But sometimes you have to pull the trigger. So make sure it has the ability to squeeze something or do something to pull the trigger on there. Or you're going to have to lift it up, push the trigger, and then put it back down kind of thing. So check those out. Again, it's cool to have, but not necessary. And it'll probably end up sitting, in a shelf or a corner somewhere after, a month or two. All right, let's go back to the top. But anyways, there are a lot of great accessories that you can buy. The only thing that is really necessary is the head strap. That's absolutely necessary. Unless you like wearing a tight pair of jock straps on your head. Everything else is pretty much, just for fun or a waste of time or a waste of money. It's really up to you. But a head strap is definitely necessary. Charging units, or these here use regular batteries, the controllers. You can also buy from your local store, your Target or your Walmart, wherever, rechargeable batteries and a unit that plugs in to recharge them. If you do, get like one that can recharge 4 at a time so that you can put 2 in while the other 2 are charging. Take those 2 out, put them in here, and put these used ones back in to recharge. Those work fine. You just have to take it's pretty quick. You just take the little side things off and you pop in a new battery. You can have that kind of recharger, or you can buy one that they give you a new battery that sits inside this that have like side posts instead of a top and bottom, and they sit in a area, and 3 little posts charge up the charger while it's also charging the headset. So now here's another one of those stocks. And it might work for some games, but it's not going to work for all because all the games are not designed to work the same way. I'm not sure how this one connects. I wonder if there's a video for that. And do you add something? It looks like you might add something to your controller. And it's magnetic. Yep, that's magnetic. But you have to actually add something here to your controllers so that it can stick to your gun. So this one you would be able to reload and do other things with. Or here, you can actually, this one, take it off and use them for pistols and knives and whatever. And this hangs around your neck. But the thing is, when you're wearing the headset, putting them back on in the right spot at the right time can be extremely, difficult. All right, more golf, more batteries. I actually play right now until I get my headset with the batteries in them. I'm sitting down in a chair. I have a cord, the actual cord that came with the headset, tied through the head strap, and then plugs into the game itself, the headset. And this way, if it gets pulled on, it doesn't pull on it out of the hole. It doesn't bend it. It doesn't break it, and it's kind of attached up here to the what's going over using a Velcro strap. And then the cord goes down to my chair and through the back of my chair where it's also tied to the chair. So if somebody like trips on the cord, it's not going to pull it out of my head. And then I can play for hours, like 3, 4, 5 hours straight using this, but you do have to watch because sometimes these headsets have a tendency to get hot. So what I do is if I touch it and see, oh, okay, the plug-in is getting hot, I will unplug it from the headset, play for a little bit. When it cools down, then I'll plug it back in. But you got to make sure it doesn't get so hot that it starts to melt or that it blows up, because evidently in the past people have had these things actually explode. But I think what they were doing was using a third-party control plugins that don't have the automatic shutoffs, so that when your headset and your controllers get to a certain point of charging, it actually shuts it off so it doesn't overcharge. And here we're looking at another charging dock for the Quest 3. It's a magnetic dock. That looks pretty cool. Everything's all in one little space instead of being spread out, so that works pretty decent. Might have to check into that. It's only $40. But there are just so many accessories and fun things. Something else you probably don't need is they have like a pulley system where you connect it to the roof of your ceiling of your room, and it drops a cord down to your headset, and then you can walk around and it just pulls out and goes back in automatically. I don't think that's really a necessary thing unless you're going to play for like 8 hours. But the batteries will replace that and take care of those things. So that is today's accessories. Go out, get yourself some, check them out, do a lot of research. My wife and I do a lot of research before buying any accessories for us. I have found that my gun stocks, the short guns, the pistol guns, sorry, that they work great and they help me with aiming, but it only works in a few games that have just pistols in them. Otherwise, they sit there on the side and do nothing. I also, early in the game, right after I purchased my Quest 2, my wife got me that. She also bought me some of the extenders for the Beat Saber. Something like this. This is for something else, but they have Beat Saber ones. And they're fine. They work great, but it takes a lot of time and effort to put them on and take them off. And in one day, you might play 2, 3, 4 different games, and you have to take the time to put these things on and off. So, it's really up to you if you want to spend that kind of money. So, my name is Jeff. I want to thank you for watching this video and watching all my other videos. Please give them a thumbs up. because that helps me with YouTube, and here on Facebook, on the Facebook page, it helps me get noticed by more people. The more thumbs up, the more comments, the more people who follow me on YouTube or on Facebook or subscribe on Facebook. Subscribing on YouTube and Facebook doesn't cost you a thing. It just allows you to see whenever a notice that when I post a video, you'll get a notice saying, hey, Jeff posted a video, you might want to check it out. And that works on both YouTube and on Facebook. So until next time, thank you and bye-bye. Hey, Facebook.